back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about The Great Mouse Detective. The Great Mouse Detective is a 1986 animated theatrical release directed by Bernie Mattinson, Dave Mitchner, Ron Clements, and John Musker. Bernie Mattinson and Dave Mitchner I covered in the video about The Fox and the Hound. The link will be in the description. Ron Clements and John Musker are co-directors and are often known for the same thing, so they are best known for Hercules, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Princess and the Frog. The list goes on because they're the Disney Renaissance directors, basically. The supervising animators are Hendel Batoy, Mark Henn, Glenn Keane, and Rob Minkoff. Mark Henn and Glenn Keane I covered in the video about The Black Cauldron. The link will be in the description. Hendel Batoy is best known for his Disney work, including Rescuers Down Under and The Black Cauldron, while Rob Minkoff is best known for The Forbidden Kingdom, Stuart Little 2, Oliver and Company, and The Lion King. The film was edited by Roy M. Brewer Jr. and James Melton. James Melton I covered in the video about The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The link will be in the description. Roy M. Brewer Jr. is best known for Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, Lancer, and this. The music is by Henry Mancini, who I covered in the video about Condor Man. The link will be in the description. The film is written by Peter Young, Vance Jerry, Steve Hewlett, Bruce Morris, Matthew O'Callaghan, and Mel Shaw. Peter, Vance, and Steve I covered in the video about The Fox and the Hound. The link will be in the description. Bruce Morris is best known for Hercules, Pocahontas, X-Men Days of Future Past, and this. Matthew O'Callaghan is best known for Life with Louie, Mission to Mars, Inspector Gadget, and this. Mel Shaw is best known for Bambi, The Black Cauldron, Lion King, and this. The film is based off a book called Basil of Baker Street by Eve Titus and Paul Galdone, which is inspired by the Sherlock Holmes stories by Arthur Conan Doyle.
Hey, so I completely forgot to compare the movie to the book, and they are really different, so let's do that really quick. Basil and Dawson are friends living in the basement of 221B Baker Street. They often listen to Holmes and Watson, learning from them. The Proudfoots ask Basil to find their twin daughters, and Basil concludes the children were kidnapped. He expects a ransom note. The ransom note arrives via messenger demanding the mice vacate the premises so the Terrible Three can use it. Basil and Dawson travel to Mousecliff on sea, disguised as a ship captain and mate. He discovers the Terrible Three own a yacht. He deduces that the messenger that brought the ransom note is being blackmailed. Basil enlists the help of the police to arrest the Terrible Three. Basil and Dawson lure the Terrible Three to their own yacht that night, and the police arrest the Terrible Three. Basil and Dawson rush to the messenger and assure him his family is safe now. In return, the messenger takes them to the twins. The twins are reunited with their family. As you can tell, the movie and book are really different.
The film stars Barry Ingham, Val Betton, Vincent Price, Suzanne Palachuk, Alan Young, Candy Candido, and Eve Brenner. Barry Ingham plays Basil, and he's best known for The Day of the Jackal, A Challenge for Robin Hood, The Triangle, and this. Val Betton plays Dr. David Q. Dawson, and he's best known for Shrek, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, The Man Who Wasn't There, and this. Vincent Price plays Professor Ratigan, and he's best known for The Abominable Dr. Phibes, Laura, The Ten Commandments, and House on Haunted Hill. Suzanne Palachuk plays Olivia Flavisham, and this is her only credit. Alan Young plays Mr. Flavisham, and I covered him in the video about Mickey's Christmas Carol. The link will be in the description. Candy Candido plays Fidget, and he's best known for Peter Pan, Plunderers of Painted Flats, Heavy Traffic, and this. Eve Brenner plays the Mouse Queen, and she's best known for Walk of Shame, Stand Up Guys, The Mentalist, and this. The Great Mouse Detective is about a little girl whose dad gets kidnapped, and she instills the help of Basil of Baker Street and Dr. Dawson, and it's about them trying to save her dad, as well as stop Professor Ratigan's evil schemes. Joe Hale was actually the one to suggest adapting Basil of Baker Street, but it fell into limbo because of its similarities to The Rescuers, but it was pitched and approved in 1982. The victim, Olivia Flavisham, was supposed to be a lot older and a potential love interest for Basil, but they decided to make her younger because they thought she would get more sympathy. Ron Miller, the big producer guy, left in 1984, and when Eisner and Katzenberg came in, they watched the movie and said the pacing was way too slow. Eisner cut the funding in half and moved the premiere date up a year and a half, so they only had 1 year to make it. The name was originally supposed to be Basil of Baker Street, like the book, but Young Sherlock Holmes from Paramount and Amblin Entertainment, a great movie actually, I really like that movie, didn't do well, so they decided to rename it The Great Mouse Detective because the name Basil was too English. This made a lot of staff really unhappy, and Ed Gombert anonymously released a memo to everyone of classic Disney films renamed generically, like Seven Little Men Help a Girl, and The Wonderful Elephant Who Could Really Fly, The Little Deer That Grew Up, The Girl with the See-Through Shoes, A Boy, a Bear, and a Big Black Cat. There were a ton of them. It became a Jeopardy category. It was a big deal. It was really funny. The higher-ups wanted to fire the person that did it, but no one ratted Ed Gombert out, and everyone got a good kick out of it, so nothing came of him being fired, but he made his point that he didn't like the generic name The Great Mouse Detective, but that is the name that stuck. And auditions, there were so many auditions for Basil, but Barry came in and was casted in 6 minutes because he was so good. They even used part of his audition in the final film. Vincent Price was approached, and he said if anyone but Disney had asked him, he would have been offended. The original inspiration for Basil was Bing Crosby, but then they moved closer to Leslie Howard. Vincent Price's voice really informed how they animated Professor Ratigan, because they originally had him as lanky and scrawny and this creepy, slimy little rat, but when Vincent came in and did his voice, they were like, no, this guy's gotta be beefy, wearing a really nice outfit because he's trying to be something he's not. The final confrontation in Big Ben was originally just supposed to be on the hands of Big Ben, but Michael Peraza said, well, what if it was inside the gears with all that added tension from the gears clicking, and everyone agreed, so they actually got to go study inside Big Ben, the gears and how they worked, and so then it starts in the gears and comes out onto the hands, and that's the final confrontation. When the film was released, it was accompanied by the short Clock Cleaners. It is an old short starring Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. The film did well. Roger Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up and 3 out of 4 stars, has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of praise for this movie is out there. It made $50 million, so off its $10 to $14 million budget, so it was a moderate success, and it gave the studio a lot of hope because it did a lot better than The Black Cauldron. Basil is named after Basil Rathbone, the man who portrayed Sherlock Holmes in 14 films, and funnily enough, in The Adventure of Black Peter, Sherlock Holmes uses the name Basil as a disguise. Also, the meeting in the film between Basil and Dr. Dawson is very similar to the first meeting of Holmes and Watson. There were some censorship issues for this movie. They almost had a PG rating because of the cabaret scene, but they made the argument that it was a mouse and not a real person doing like the kind of sexy cabaret thing, and the lyrics were very, very vague. So they got away with the G rating, but other countries wanted specific things cut out. I can't remember which countries wanted a lot cut out, which countries didn't want a lot cut out, but there was some censorship going on in other countries. There are no day scenes in this movie. Every scene in this film takes place at night, which is interesting. The film takes place in 1897, and cigarettes weren't common in 1897, especially ones that were like already rolled for you. And the phonograph wasn't allowed in homes in Britain until 1900. So there are a couple little timing continuity errors. There are also a lot more like goofs and continuity errors, etc. going on, so I will leak those. I will link them in the description. The opening title says The Adventures of the Great Mouse Detective, which happened during the re-release in 1992, so I don't know why they changed it to The Adventures of the Great Mouse Detective and not just The Great Mouse Detective when on like the title of the DVD it says The Great Mouse Detective. I don't know, but that's the thing that happened. Olivia's mom is absent. They do not say what happened to her. She just says she doesn't have a mother, so I don't know if she left or if she died, so I'm not counting it. Also, Mr. Flavisham doesn't die, so I'm not counting that at all. Really. Dumbo can be seen in the toy shop, so that's a little fun thing, and I freaking love this movie. I had never seen it before, actually, and it was a really, really fun ride. The music was incredible, the animation was stunning, all of the voice acting was so well done. This is probably some of my favorite voice acting. Vincent Price is incredible, and everyone says Ratigan steals the show, and I did love him, but I think I was so shocked by the voice that came out of Basil, which is funny because you wouldn't expect that. But I wasn't expecting that voice, and I was so pleasantly surprised by Basil's voice and just his whole demeanor. And I like anything Sherlock Holmes pretty much, so I was in from beginning to end. I really liked this movie. That's all I have for The Great Mouse Detective. I really enjoyed this movie. It's definitely a classic for me now. Can't believe it took me this long to watch it. I will definitely watch it in the future. I think I'm gonna give it 9 balloons out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parental and cry counter is the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and you'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday and Friday and Wednesday now. So, let me know what you think of The Great Mouse Detective. Where does it rank in your list of Disney animated movies? Let me know. Is it in the middle? Is it up toward the top? Is it toward the bottom? I don't know right now because I'm just like still shocked and like, oh, that was really good. So I'll see where it ranks later. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not sure if you are, so you do, and don't be Professor Ratigan about it. The film is written by Peter Hung. Oh my god.